People still working from home. How's it going? Software developer, UI designer here. In terms of work, it's been better than ever. I have a proper private home office and I'm doing great work due to having the perfect conditions for somebody without an introversion. Socially, it got super lonely, like depression-inducing lonely. I'm now actively going out with friends 2-3 times a week. My social circle shrunk a lot these 3.5 years due to not attending an office. Also, as a 45-yo, making new friends is difficult. I don't say I would never go back to working in an office, but it would have to be a job with a lot of money and benefits. It's great in some ways, but has drawbacks in others. On the plus side, I get to be the first person my toddler sees each morning and I get to spend time with her after work. If I was commuting, I'd be long gone before she woke up and wouldn't be home until after 6. That leaves me with maybe 2 hours with her before bedtime. No thanks. I do find it difficult, though, to separate out work from home. Like, yes, it's great to be able to tidy the house or throw in a load of laundry between meetings, but it can very easily turn into cleaning at every break I get. That gets overwhelming, fast. I know someone who was about to go to med school and was working as a WFH programmer in the meantime. Then, they realized that med school was a long, difficult journey and they would have to go into an office hospital every day after that, when they were already making amazing money, working where they wanted, and when they wanted to. So, instead of going to med school, they moved somewhere tropical, and now their social media is full of them working day tripping at various cafes, beaches, and such. As someone working a 9-to-5 office job with winter approaching, I think about that a lot. I work from home like 95% of the time as a video editor producer and it's awesome. Work provided me with all the gear I need basically just to set up laptop, and shooting in the field is mostly a half-hour drive away. My commute time is ideal, my house is clean, and I have way more time to do stuff like hit the gym or play Fall Guys while waiting for my long 4K videos to export. It kinda sucks to only have a relationship between my co-workers via Zoom, but the amount of benefit I get is truly fantastic. I love it and I find myself far more productive. Would highly recommend. I love it. I feel like I get a lot more done without the distractions of people in the office to chat with. Also, I am on the phone all day, and I worry about disturbing my office neighbors, but at home I can pace around while I talk. I don't have to worry about bothering anyone. I can drop off and pick up my child from school. He has never ridden the school bus, which was a din of inequity in my youth, and I am nearby and have the flexibility to get him to endless orthodontist appointments and activities. It's a pretty sweet life. I would recommend it to anyone. I still very much enjoy it for my own work-life balance and comfort, but starting to see some downsides. In the time since COVID struck, I got promoted to a managerial position in my company, and I suddenly started appreciating having people in the office more. Lol. We've switched to hybrid model some time ago, and looking at people's performance I can easily spot some guys who clearly fuck around at home. I'm seeing performance drops up to even 30 for a few guys reporting to me. Not everyone of course, not even majority, but it is a bit of a problem. At home 3 days a week, in office 2. Can be at home more but have some in-office only stuff I deal with. X200B. It's going well. I like this balance. I definitely have different focus in versus out of office. Both can be productive, just often in different ways. My company now hires with office versus remote postings from the start. Expectations and pay may vary between the roles, which has been based on actual numbers coming from the 2 different styles of roles and the employee's work history. Interesting to see how this dust kind of settles. It is exactly what I need. I had major surgery and during recovery I was still able to work, where I otherwise would not have been able to had I been required to commute be away from home. I have a lot of clients several time zones away, and being able to be at home makes me more flexible to meetings on their time. I am very fortunate to be able to be full-time at home. It has made me seriously reevaluate what I'm willing to subject myself to should I ever jump ship, and has given me confidence in justifying my position on these terms. It's going great. I am in about 70 meeting which would be on Teams or Zoom anyways, even in the office. Now I can go off camera and do a household item if I don't need to be fully engaged. Or can hardcore multitask and get a lot done in a shorter amount of time. I also can work out during the day and make it up later if needed. Just gives me such flexibility. I don't think I can go back into the office without getting highly stressed with personal things now that I experienced a more effective way to balance both personal and work. I can't be happier. My wife also works from home and we enjoy a lunch together daily. This is our heaven with so much quality time. We work our asses off and are very serious professionals. We probably work an extra hour a day just because we don't have to commute and we love our jobs. But I know we are lucky enough to be later in our careers as executives and we don't need the in-person mentoring and leadership that the office environment provides. If I was younger in my career, I expect it could be harder to improve and get ahead. Not working from home, but doing school from home. My old public school was a hive for dangerous kids, fights, and drug addicts. And while I tried my best to stay out of it a few times, I was forced into a situation. My grades were plummeting and my mental health was horrible. Finally, my mom who worked there asked me what I thought about online school. Since then my grades and mental health have skyrocketed since now I have more flexibility and I'm not being threatened by meth addicts. I'm not exaggerating, that actually happened. Incredible! I was full-time WFH for 2 years. Since April 2021, we've gone in 1 day a week. That 1 day is easily the worst day of the week for me. WFH lets me get the full amount of sleep that I need. When it's warm I ride my bike for around 2 hours after work instead of commuting, and I'm not tempted to eat out for lunch or dinner because I'm already home and I've got stuff in the fridge. No need to pay for gas or train fare to commute either. If they try to make us go in more often, I'll start looking for another job. I've been back to the office once since March 2020. Home working is really grinding me down at the moment. Concentration and motivation levels are low. Video calls just drain me. My partner doesn't work from home, so I'm pretty much alone all day and I'm quite a sociable person, so the isolation is difficult. I recently moved flat and a change of scene has helped, plus it was useful to be around to take deliveries and let contractors in. But I definitely want to go back to the office 2-3 times a week going forward. I was a very hands-on person involved with nearly every stage of my job as a project manager. Also very social. I had an opportunity and got a new WFH job that was actually a big raise 15 months ago. My home office is 2 hours away out of state. I was worried about the huge change and how I would manage it, but it's been amazing and I absolutely love it. I'm on enough Teams calls each day for social interaction during work. My productivity is still there, but as others have mentioned, the house stays pretty clean. My job is annoying as all jobs can be, but I'm grateful I get to work from home full time. It went from the future of the work world to a rare thing in 2 years. Everyone is remote, but we do have an office some people go into. In 3 years I've been in 4 times. I don't know if I could function sitting in a cube and commuting anymore. But I do see some value in in-person collaboration, and really for younger people jobs can be your entry point into a social life, often in a new city, at least for my generation. Wonderfully! We got transitioned to remote permanently after somebody realized the non-customer facing ITC not service desk really didn't need to be in the shop since most of our hardware is cold now. I get to nap every day on lunch. There's a love sack next to my desk. Fewer days of PTO wasted in the attempt to not unleash a plague on the office. A lot of my time is waiting for other people to do things so I can do 30 seconds of work and pass it along. Downtime KVM personal PC, lots of study time. Did it full time from 2020-2021. Could never do it again. I liked it at first, but it destroyed my body. Never got up to talk to coworkers. Bad ergonomic chair, my sense of work-life separation. I hated not being able to hear people's tone of voice and work things out in person, so I thought my bosses were mad at me more often. And most importantly, the relationships and banter I have with my coworkers is what makes the day tolerable. At home, I get none of that. At home, it's just grinding in silence basically. I've been home since COVID started. I enjoy not having to commute. It was nice not having to go out to get lunch if I didn't bring one to work. Something clicked over the past few months though, and I've started getting healthier. I've been able to go for a jog or run during a lunch break, or get a quick home workout in, and I've been working towards the best shape I've been in years. Down 25 pounds in 4 months. And it's been nice seeing my kids in the afternoon when they get home from school rather than at 5-6 p.m. I think a lot of jobs have changed permanently to work from home, even for some of the week. There are so many jobs these days where physical presence is really not required. But I do think an occasional office presence is good. I actually find it better, because you talk to who you want to, when you want to, and you have their full attention. No commute, No enforced lunch break, and if you did want to take your lunch, you have a chance to put on the washing or start dinner, etc. There are a lot of benefits. Honestly, I'm slowly coming to hate it. If you had told me that 4 years ago, I would have laughed at you, but here we are. The cabin fever of working and living in the same small apartment is getting unbearable. I would like to be able to go into the office once or twice a week, to get a change of scenery without having to pay for it. Unfortunately, the office moved 2,000 miles away, and my free third space options are quite limited, so I'm looking into co-working spaces or renting a small office for myself. I'm on a hybrid schedule now. 2 days in the office, 3 at home during the week. Socializing is nice, but it makes me physically cringe to hear people on meetings when they don't have an inside voice. As I'm typing this comment, someone is on a meeting right now screaming. Monday and Tuesday in the office I work ahead, so I have no work at home Wednesday, Friday. I spend my home days playing video games and watching TV. I do need to start moving more, which seems to be the consensus of most of the comments I read. It's pretty nice. Rough math here, but since the pandemic I've saved about 2 hours each day on my commute. Just time back in my life for me. Now March 2020 is 191 weeks ago, so that means I've gotten 19 hours or 79.5 days back into my life from not commuting to work every single day. I'm also not eating out for lunch, spending money on gas for the car or a train ticket. I do miss the social aspect of work, but having some extra cash and about 19 hours to myself is something I'll never trade back.